Are you happy in your business? Now, I have had my share of emotional ups and downs in my 20 years of being a solo entrepreneur coach. And the patterns I've seen in myself and in my clients is that those downs are usually when I was personally feeling unfulfilled. Sometimes it was because a launch that flopped, and sometimes it was just life and had nothing to do with business. But those ups, oh boy, those are the times when I was feeling my most authentic and completely aligned to my purpose, or when I just felt like I was rocking that work-life balance. I would be thinking I could do this all day long and never feel tired. One of my loves is sharing what works for me and what has been working for my clients to achieve this very feeling, full of passion, happiness, peace, and freedom. So I decided to create a private podcast for coaches. Maybe you just want to develop better communication skills that boosts engagement, leads to better results, and makes you feel like you're actually making a difference in the lives of the people you serve. Then you're invited too. We talk about this and more in the UBU private podcast for coaches. Whether you're a mentor, a parent, or run a client-focused business, coaching skills benefit everyone and anyone who wants to communicate in a way that builds relationships. Fall in love with your life and business again. Click the link in the show notes for your invitation to join us right now. Then come back and enjoy this episode. If we are just looking at personality as only being behaviors, this is going to keep you stuck because you have to ask why. You need to know the motivation, the purpose behind those behaviors, because purpose is the universal motivator. It's time to stop comparing yourself to others and plug into what is uniquely you. Welcome to Unbox Your Personality, the podcast for coaches, parents, and mentors like you who understand that your happiness makes you more effective at what you do, bringing out the best in others. I'm Jen Higgins, personality strategist and Enneagram fluff remover. Get laser focused on who you are and who you aren't, so you're free to make the impact you were born to make. And have fun doing it. Your personality is your business. So let's get down to business. Hey there, welcome back. I'm so glad you're here. Today I wanted to chat a little bit about how I define personality and why, after almost 2 decades of helping others navigate their businesses and their relationships and their personal satisfaction by understanding and leveraging what they know about their personality and how they behave, why I chose to build my practice almost exclusively around the Enneagram. Now, I say almost exclusively because, number one, I do find value in the other personality tools that I have used in the past. And number two, I do also believe that you are more than your personality. So when I coach and mentor people, I use the Enneagram, its language, and its personal growth map as a communication tool. So we're all on the same page. But the clients that I have that make the most sustainable transformation in their lives are the ones that they know enough about the Enneagram to, let's say, they can look at the map and see the big fat red arrow that says you are here. And then they know where to go from there to get where they want to go. But they don't get so caught up in Enneagram speak that they are just forever typing themselves, and they keep typing themselves deeper and deeper into their quote unquote box. I've actually seen people regress. They think they are making progress. because, well, they're learning about themselves, right? But they're not growing. They're still stuck. They still feel stuck. Something's missing, or they still feel like something's wrong with them, and they're making the same mistakes, and they're having the same arguments, and it's just all draining their energy. So my goal is to help you get to the place where you don't really need me anymore. Except maybe to go fetch a really excellent cup of coffee. I love coffee. Or going on an epic road trip because, now we're besties. But let me back up a little bit and start at the beginning and let's ask the question, what is personality? Well, my definition of personality is it's a set of behaviors used as a means to get what you want or avoid what you don't want. So basically, your personality, these behaviors are coping strategies to make us more comfortable. And newsflash, this is largely subconscious. And that's why self-awareness is so key into really understanding why you do the things that you do. Now, most psychologists agree that your personality was developed in the first 5 years of your life. And most Enneagram experts would agree that the core motivations on which your Enneagram number is based, that has been with you always. That's always been with you since you were born. And I am inclined to follow suit with that sentiment because I do believe that before I was formed in the womb, I was already known by my maker. But psychology is a science, and because science is based on observation, we can probably conclude that the personality founding fathers were observing behaviors. Because, as we know, most toddlers and preschoolers can't really verbalize what the motivations are behind their behaviors. And I'm going to go out on a limb here and insert that most adults can't either. Am I right? So all that to say is that behaviors can change, but your core motivations are so ingrained in the very fiber of your being, the very fiber of your psyche, that it influences every thought, every emotion, and every action that you think, feel, and do. But as we age, we mature. As we have more experiences, we learn our lessons and we make better decisions and we build our character. And character is a part of our personality that gets developed over time based off of our experiences and our choices. Now, as an Enneagram Type 7, I can be impulsive and I can be indulgent. And as an example, I know I want a piece of pie, even though I am pretty stuffed from dinner. Now, why do I want that piece of pie? Because I really love pie. It tastes good. It makes me happy. I don't want to miss out on the opportunity to enjoy it because what if it's all gone when I come back? But as I have matured, I have learned that more than loving that pie, I really do not love being miserable for the rest of the day because I ate too much and, I've just got indigestion and I'm kind of cranky and moving slow and the fatigue is setting in. So my more mature self will decline the pie. Now, full disclosure, I was not my mature self this past holiday and I did overeat. And I was miserable for a good 24 hours. And even though there was pie left over in the morning, I wasn't having it. So maybe I've learned my lesson for next time. Let's keep our fingers crossed for that. But I digress. Now, if we are just looking at personality as only being behaviors, this is going to keep you stuck because you have to ask why. You need to know the motivation, the purpose behind those behaviors, because purpose is the universal motivator. Like when a kid learns that markers are for coloring, he's pretty motivated to color with it. On paper, on walls, on himself, like whatever he can find, right? If I can draw on this, I can draw on that. So likewise, when you know the purpose behind your behavior, you start thinking outside the box, just like the kid with the marker. You start thinking, well, what other behaviors can serve that same purpose? And to that same point, what other purpose can this same behavior serve? And just like that, you've opened up a Pandora's box of possibilities, all because you understood yourself better. You understood your motivations, and you recognized your behaviors as being a coping strategy for those motivations. So this is why I chose to become an Enneagram expert, the Enneagram Ninja, as you might already know me as. But I love that the Enneagram explains your behaviors when you are stressed and when you aren't, when you're feeling confident, when you're relaxing. It explains why you can be an introvert at home, but an extrovert at work, or maybe vice versa. It explains why you can behave one way with one person, but completely differently with another person that maybe you might feel more comfortable with. But what really sets the Enneagram apart from the other personality tools is this built-in ladder it gives you. I call it the self-awareness ladder. It gives you this ladder as a way out of your box. It shows you that straight and narrow path that we should be climbing to grow personally. And it understands that each person is different. So each type on the Enneagram has a different ladder. You want to make sure you're climbing your ladder. I also love that the Enneagram will show you that long and winding road that we tend to default to when our self-awareness is taking a nap. It gives us these warning signs and red flags to alert us that help, we're falling off of our ladder, so we can wake up and get back on track. But more importantly than all of that, the purpose of the Enneagram goes beyond personal development. In my opinion, its ultimate purpose is community. It serves as a catalyst to learn how to connect with others using your strengths and valuing their strengths, working together and serving each other. So when you hear Jen is the Enneagram Ninja, what I really want you to hear is Jen is the Enneagram fluff remover. Because honestly, isn't it true you don't need a PhD in math to fairly divide up a pie for your family or to be able to keep score in Scrabble? You just need to learn the basics from someone you trust that knows their stuff. When it comes to, theory behind fractions and multiplication for math. But the same thing with the Enneagram. Your personality is a pattern of behaviors used as a means to get what you want and avoid what you don't want. The Enneagram quickly explains the purpose behind those behaviors. And in my coaching practice, unboxing yourself takes a holistic approach to working with your personality by holding a mirror up to your blind spots so you can balance yourself and fill in the gaps that will make you feel whole. Now that's where the freedom is. Just remember, when you unbox yourself, you unleash your power. Thank you for listening, subscribing, and reviewing. the Unbox Your Personality podcast. To learn more about yourself, go to powercoachjen.com. Find out how you are different so you can make your difference.